What's happening, guys? We just finished part 1 of fan fiction of the Sturniolo triplets. We're on to part 2. Let's get started with this. Chris wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. I look forward to it.
Give me some room. There's other people coming and I get scared.
Oh, McDonald's fries, man. Nothing better.
Yep.
Little in the middle, but she got much back. But it didn't.
100% true. Nothing better.
Nick, are you gonna read them again?
Yes.
Dude, how many McDonald's fries do these boys eat, man?
The two behind in awkward silence, sitting between the pair.
Sitting right between.
So how do you know Cass? Nick's voice was almost completely drowned out by the noise, so Sydney had to
Oh,
pay,
so they're jamming.
had to pay
It's a
complete
rager.
attention to understand what he was.
You'd
what
think
he was
all this
saying.
detail they'd say what song's playing. Like I want to get really.
She's
I
my
wanna
cousin.
know.
She's my cousin. What about you? Lacrosse game. My brothers play.
Like, Chris will listen to the little things that Nick says.
You'd
What
think
he was
all this
saying.
detail they'd say what song's playing. Like I want to get really.
She's
I
my
wanna know.
cousin.
I've noticed that in a few videos. Like, Chris is with Nick in that way. Like, he really listens to Nick, and I think, again, he makes a real effort to include Nick in a different way.
Big mistake drinking a Coke. I would have left him right there.
That's also not me. That's me.
All right,
You were
Nick goes
drinking
to
the
get the
Coke?
Coke.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Who's that?
If I-
Nick goes to get the Coke. She needs a ride home.
I think Chris wants to make Nick feel a little bit more heard and included. Like, he makes that extra little effort to.
That's me.
All right,
You were
Nick goes
drinking
to
the
get the
Coke?
Coke.
Yeah.
Blah blah.
Whereas with Matt, who he has this more sort of unspoken bond with, he doesn't necessarily need to show that he's listening in the same way. It's like, we're so close, I don't even need to show you that I care. So I think there's something there. I think there is something there.
Do you know how in love with you I am?
Oh,
Do you see how in love I am? Oh, fuck.
Skid's repeating himself.
Do you
Dude,
see
there's
how
so
in love
much
with you I
room
am?
in the snack part of a Snackies, may I say. So much room.
No response there, no response. Nick with those little random remarks.
Do you
Dude,
see
there's
how
so
in love
much
with you I
room
am?
in the snack part of a Snackies, may I say.
He still has that spatial and audience awareness, yet at the same time, there's this interesting contrast in his personality where, although he has this awareness, he's also susceptible to going into all these different directions. And he lets himself go there, and that's part of the comedy, that's part of the humor, is the randomness in Nick.
Night. Nick Sturniolo. I'll read it.
No! Very first and the fucking last, bitch. Don't try me.
Come on. How the fuck?
See, Nick also, different moods. I think Chris is the most consistent in his mood from everything that I've seen. Matt and Nick, mostly Matt, but Nick too. Nick can go super sass Nick
No!
and super goofy Nick.
Sitting right.
And they can almost come out in the same minute.
I do not speak to her.
Block.
Exactly.
Like, at all.
And all the friends are off the roster too.
All the friends.
Really?
There's like air suction
like-
in this. Like
People,
when I
Nick. Okay,
Sorry.
okay, snacky kid. I get it.
Snacky.
But people think, what's
Is
it? Nick, I said that. Snacky.
Nick, can you find them? And
Chris will kind of tease Nick. He'll kind of get sassy for a second back with Nick and direct with Nick.
Okay, snacky kid. I get it.
But then when Nick comes back over the top with another joke where he's like, snackies.
I get it.
Snacky.
But people think,
Chris is quick to laugh at himself. You know, he doesn't need to win the exchange.
Nick, can you find them? And
And I think that's what sort of makes him the most stable out of the three in a way. Like, because in a way, I think he's the most confident.
the story.
don't say shit to me, like
Guys, Matt.
If you're gonna
enough.
say something like that.
Yeah, we know.
Weird.
Chris has a crush on you. We know. I was excited to see Chris. I took two of the closest things I found and made an outfit out of it. A plain gray Nike crew neck and baggy and black leggings.
So bad
The
fit.
only shoes I had were my white Crocs.
So it's interesting, but though, that Nick kind of made a joke that Chris loves Matt, and I was always like, Matt loves Chris.
Like that.
Yeah, we know.
Weird.
Chris has a crush on you. We know.
I can totally see that too. So I wonder what the dynamic is really like. I think it goes deeper than obviously what I originally hypothesized here. So potentially, maybe it is equal. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch it a little bit more. There's definitely a mutual love there. Like I said, I think Matt kind of looks up to Chris. But potentially, that's really just based on Matt's mood. When Matt's feeling a little bit more down or a little bit more on edge, He sort of looks to Chris for that stability.
Peculiar. Very peculiar. We can go to lunch first. Just give me time to get ready, the blue-eyed boy says, then disappears
hate that
around the
Blue-eyed boy.
blue fucking eyes.
They know my name.
Which one of us is it?
See, this is their honesty that I love. This is the honesty that's attracted them to me from the beginning. It's just like, I hate that corny shit, man.
I hate that
Around the
corner.
We all have blue.
I think a big part of what I like about them as well is that they don't seem to just say shit. They're not sucking up to their audience. They don't patronize their audience. They don't try to be nice for the sake of being nice. And when we sense that from people, when we sense that authenticity, we tend to trust them more. When they actually do say good things, it has a greater impact.
I've known her for all of 5 minutes and I can't think about anything else but her. Those beautiful brown locks that fall perfectly over her shoulder. Her style unlike anyone's I've ever seen.
Bro,
Shorty, you went over in leggings, a hoodie, and a white.
Oh my god,
We saw you at the grocery store before we fucking got to your house.
What style are we talking with your dusty toes, though?
Oh man, that's what it is, right? They're not afraid to offend. They're not afraid to talk shit. You know, there's probably some feelings that get hurt in these videos, but that's again part of their appeal. I don't know if there's much controversy around them. I haven't seen anything like on TikTok or Twitter or anything like that. I think this is why they have that strong fan base, that dedicated fan base, is because you know you're getting the authentic them, and they're not afraid to say what they feel.
Never to be. It's Matt's head.
Oh.
better to avoid my feelings and try and make something of what can never be.
Ooh, he dropped the mic. Wow, Nick, you're selling this.
Sorry, this part was kind of short, but I didn't want to put the lunch in the same part. Thank you so much for reading, the person who wrote it. Okay, we have to watch an ad. Be right back.
See Matt waiting for Chris's reaction there. Like he was looking at Chris for a while to see what his reaction would be. So they have this telepathic connection. Chris making it a point to acknowledge and appreciate Nick and his skills, whether it's through his laughing, his active listening, him saying that he killed it with the reading of the fan fiction.
Wow, Nick, you're selling this.
Sorry, this part.
So he makes an effort to show his appreciation toward Nick.
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
That's the oldest fucking. A jester would have made that joke to us three in the fucking prime time of medieval. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the joke's old.
Yeah, the joke's as old as the fucking Vikings, dude. That shit's so.
Dude, I dropped my cap.
Okay,
so then she.
See, that's a part of Nick's skill set. That's a part of his humor skill set, right? You go back,
prime time of medieval.
makes a joke prime time of medieval, and then Chris adds on to it and says, yeah, the joke's old. Nick's not done with the joke, right? Nick can take something and extend the joke for a very long time. I think that's part of his skill set.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the joke's old.
Yeah, the joke's as old as the fucking Vikings.
Right? And he just adds on to it. It's just there's more layers to it. Like Nick can take a joke into many different directions, so he's very smart like that. He's got a lot of skill in that way.
Dude, that shit's so.
Dude, I dropped my cap.
Okay,
so then she walks in, and then she sees Matt, who opens the door, and he just can't stop thinking about it.
And I think that's Nick's way of bonding with Chris in particular, is that exchanging of that witty banter.
Oh. I'm gonna move forward to the crazy part. So she gets up, she almost passes out at the restaurant.
No!
Passes out.
Oh my god,
Why?
so
She
Matt
almost
gets
all
all
nervous.
nervous.
She almost passed out.
Oh, you were fucking reaming her out there.
Yeah, so
what
she
the
was-
fuck are you doing on your phone?
No. Matt said, oh, do you want to go to the hospital? She's like, no, I just need to I need to lay down. I need to go to bed. So she comes back to our house and Matt brings her to my room, be like, oh, you can rest in Nick's room, whatever. So now she's about to lie
resting in
down.
your
She's
room.
laying
Totally
back, resting. And
Nick will more often look at Chris. Maybe it has a little bit to do with the seating, but I think Nick more often looks at Chris because he knows he's going to get a listening ear almost all the time from Chris.
oh, you can rest in Nick's room, whatever.
Green. We have to make sure.
Beautiful.
Beautiful
I
green
move
emerald
it.
beauties that light up
blue,
every room she
blue,
walks in.
beautiful green.
Got it. Good.
I move her hair. She has her hands near mine. I want to grab her hand, hold it. She's delicate.
We're close.
Chris and Matt are okay kind of being a little affectionate with each other and although it's kind of weird, but in this jokingly romantic way. They're okay to kind of act and play with each other in that fake romantic way. So that adds a whole nother level of their connection and their closeness. These guys are exceptionally close. It's really nice to watch.
She pulls herself away from me.
Previous awareness, she's
Chris!
Oh, she's like, fuck you, Matt.
She pulls herself
Never
away
yell
from
at me again.
I turn to my back and stare at the ceiling. Why would I do that? She turns back over, moving even closer this time. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm
sorry.
It's okay, just go back to sleep, I say, throwing my arm around her, pulling her close.
I love it. They're acting it out now.
My mouth. Oh my god, I shouted. I don't remember this happening, but I guess that makes sense. That I was the one in the triplets room, but Matt, really? And then
What?
that's like what I said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like
I said
oh.
I didn't remember this.
Yeah, and I don't know if like Nick feels left out or not, but I probably would if I were Nick. You know, it's this constant sort of bonding that Matt and Chris have. It's like they just have this instinct to always sort of look at each other and connect over this humor and laugh. I can see that being a little bit tough for Nick, but it's constant, right? Between Chris and Matt, it's constant.
But I guess it would make sense that I was in one of the triplets room. But Matt, ? Really? Oh no, she's thinking that. And it's a fucking photo of like a guy and a girl cuddling. Like there's dead ass like a photo.
Wait, no, this is
of the same thing. Like weird.
I don't know if the fame seems to have gotten to their head. Like they're at a point now where people are literally full on writing stories about them, fantasizing about their relationships with the different brothers. And it seems like there's quite a few, but they seem like very normal dudes. So I think, again, that's a big part of this appeal. It's like they just seem like regular guys that we can relate to. And I think it's because, in part, they keep each other grounded. Like if anyone sort of had like a big ego around it, any of the other two brothers would be quick to bring that one brother down. There's still like a humility around it all. It doesn't feel like this kind of stuff's getting to their head. In fact, they're just kind of getting cringed out, just like normal people would.
I'm interrupted by Chris's lips on mine. This makes me sick to my stomach. He's kissing
I'm interrupted by Chris's lips on mine.
through my entire body. His hands are on my waist. Mine are around his neck. He pulls away. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I say, still in shock. I liked it. Good, he says.
And I was over her house warming up in the shower.
Who the
Just
fuck?
to warm up.
Who the fuck warms up in the shower? I've never heard of such a thing.
And then- warm up.
Especially at a friend's house. Like if you're gonna warm up in a shower, sure, on your own fucking time.
Yeah.
So watch this whole dynamic, right? Like Nick's going on one of his rants right now, being hilarious. Chris is watching him. Chris is amused and he's listening and he's watching. And then Matt's watching Chris's reaction the entire time. So it's this sort of like triangle effect.
Especially at a friend's house. Like, if you're gonna warm up in a shower, sure, on your own fucking time.
Yeah.
If you're showing up at someone's house, okay, warm up in your shower real quick. Bitch, I'll
Right?
put the heat on.
Yeah.
Stand by the furnace. Like, fucking light a candle, stick your hands up in front of it like it's a fire. Put the stove on, put the oven on.
Matt loves seeing Chris lose it as much as Chris enjoys losing it to Nick's humor.
Light a candle, stick your hands up in front of it like it's a fire. Put
You know? It's like this snowball effect.
your shower. Yeah, all right, Sky. The oven? The oven makes heat.
But obviously Matt finds Nick hilarious too, right?
Preheat that bitch to like as high as it'll go, I don't know, 500.
I
Fucking go
think
bake.
Chris helps Matt appreciate Nick. Like, Chris's appreciation of Nick enhances Matt's appreciation of Nick. Like, if Chris weren't there, I don't think Matt would have that same depth of appreciation for Nick.
Brother
The only reason to
giving me
oh
clothes
my
just like
god!
I warm up.
The only reason to shower at a friend's house is if like you're sweating
Sleepover.
profusely from like some crazy
Sleepovers.
shit or like a sleepover. But it's kind of like a out of like, oh, you have to shower. You have to shower. You kind of avoid it at all costs leading up to it. You know what I mean?
No, but if
like
you
you're not like,
sleep
oh,
over,
like-
listen.
I love how Nick is expressive like that, just saying whatever the fuck he thinks is true. He just expresses what he feels. And you can say that about all these guys, but in particular, Nick, and then maybe Chris, and then Matt. But you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
Like went like somewhere that got real dirty. Like if you were at the park, your shoes got dirty, you got wet, it was raining outside. I can get it.
Or like the trampoline park, or like
I
an
can
indoor
get it.
activity.
But listen,
Yeah.
it's always
gonna be to clean.
And you see that with Nick and Chris quite a bit, is they'll agree and bond over their opinions, and like they'll joke about it.
Or if they're sticking together for a while. If it's like a full day
Yeah.
experience.
And in a way agree with each other when they're making fun of something. And Nick's like, yeah, or like a trampoline party, like adding on to the joke. Then Chris will go back and add on to something. So they have that together.
Parker, like an
I can
indoor
get it.
activity.
But listen, it's always gonna be. It's always.
Yeah. So Nick and Chris, like, they find ways to really bond. And I think a big part of their bond is, it's over their humor. Like Chris appreciates Nick's opinions. And I think Nick appreciates when Chris can understand him. I think Chris understands Nick. And Nick appreciates that.
Library. Like, come on.
Various book options, especially romance ones, if that's what you're into.
Bookstores near me.
Tons of
bookstores
them.
near
We're on
me.
the Hallmark channel.
Bookstores near me. That should be a trending search. Bookstores near me. At the end of the day, take a deep breath, read a book, maybe take.
Yeah, when Nick wants to be the star of the show, the guy delivers. And he's the star. He's got the comedic timing down, but he's also got the voice. He's got the energy to command your attention. And I think that's why we listen to these guys and why people watch their videos probably all the way through a lot of the time, is because of their excitement, their energy. They're not afraid to express their opinions. And when we know that we're going to get that realness, we're here for it.
Yep. But at the end of the day, we're doing this for fun. You know, it is a little odd, but it's like, hey, we have fun.
It's a funny odd.
It's a funny odd. We're not really that worried about it, so.
Yeah, write more.
Don't say that. Definitely, you know, like we'll keep her in the middle.
No, write some crazy ones.
Yeah, I think like low key Matt likes when they write about him. You know, it makes him feel good. It's like, yeah, shit, I'm hot. You know? I think Matt kind of likes that low key.
Yeah, write more.
Don't say that. Definitely, you know, like we'll keep her in the middle.
No, write some crazy ones so we can react.
Yeah, no.
Write like the craziest shit. Write a crazy one and submit it to me. I want to see it. Yes.
No. Don't add fucking gasoline to the fire. Just send the fire over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shake my hand.
Nice.
Very nice.
But you know, thank you for watching our videos.
Yeah, this isn't really like, these dynamics change quite often, but I think we're getting on to something here. I think I definitely will keep reacting to them. I'll wait to see what the response is. I enjoy reacting to them. I love how just real they are, and I've said that many times. Guys, love the Sturniolo triplets. Happy I checked them out again. As always, if you want to watch my uncut reaction, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. Other than that, my name is Max. I appreciate you being here. I will catch you soon. Peace.